All right, boys and girls, some of you said that you wanted a few extra examples to kind of help you out with the homework, so no problem at all. So here's some extra examples on comparing and ordering rational numbers. So to compare and order the rational numbers, there's different things you can do. First of all, if the denominators are the same, super easy. 5/9 versus 6/9. Well, if a pizza is cut up into 9 slices, would you rather have 5 of the 9 slices or 6 of the 9? Well, pretend you're really hungry, 6 of the 9. There you go. If the numbers are negative, okay, negative, think of as owing somebody money. So let's start out with a basic one. Let's say -3 versus -10. Well, would you rather owe somebody $3 or owe somebody $10? Well, you'd rather owe them $3. It's less of money, so you'd pay them back sooner. So this is actually greater than this one right here. Now, the reason for that is when you look at a number line, the number on the right is always greater. And it's really easy to understand with positive numbers. So if that's 10 and that's 5, obviously 10 is more money than 5, and $5 is more money than 0. But when we get to negative numbers, that's when students have usually have some issues. Well, let's put -5 and -10 here. Would you rather owe somebody $5 or owe somebody 10? Well, the answer is you'd rather owe them 5, and this number's further to the right. The numbers further to the right are always greater. Next one, would you rather owe somebody no money or owe them 5? Well, you'd rather owe them no money, obviously. The number to the right's greater. Would you rather owe them no money or owe them 10? You'd rather owe them no money. Would you rather have $5 in your pocket or owe somebody $5? As you can see, the number to the right is always greater than the number to the left, no matter what. So with fractions, it works the same way. Let's say we have common denominators. This was out of 15. I would rather owe somebody 3/15 of a pizza than owe them 10/15 of a pizza. Now, some of these you're not going to have common denominators for. So let's take a look. Let's say we had 2/3 versus 1/2. All you got to do is turn them into decimals. 2 divided by 3, 0.6 bar notation. 1 divided by 2, 0.5 bar notation. These numbers are positive, and I'd rather have 0.6 something than 0.5. This is the bigger number. That makes this the bigger number. If these were, let's say you were comparing money terms, well, since this is bar notation, the next number would be 6. So this would be 66 cents. And since this is a terminating decimal, the only number you can add on the end would be 0. So this would be 50 cents. Well, I'd rather have 66 cents in my pocket than 50 cents. If they were mixed numbers, let's use the same fractions, but let's put something there. Let's say 5 2/3 versus 5 1/2. Well, 5 2/3, again, in our calculator, we do 2 divided by 3, and then just add that whole number 5 to it, and we get 5.6 bar notation. And here, we would get 5.5 bar notation. Again, this is more, that's more, and if it was terms of money, it'd be 566 versus 550. Now, the next kind of problems that you're going to see, you're going to have them, maybe a word problem, and it'll say, all right, what's better? 27 out of 30 on one test, and I don't know, let's say Joe got this, and let's say Mike got a 94%. All right, so let's see who's better. Well, we got a 27 divided by 30, and that's going to be 0.9. That's a terminating decimal, so we can always add a 0 to the end if we want to. So let's see what this 94% is. Well, 94%, that's the same thing. Remember, a percent is just a number over 100. 94 over 100, so let's see, 94 divided by 100. We end up with 0.94. So we can see that this is a higher grade. That person did better. The last thing they will ask you about, by they I mean me, say order some numbers, usually from least to greatest. So order from least to greatest. smallest to biggest. So, let's say we had 0.24, 19%, and 1/5. Alright, so my advice for these, make them all into decimals. Well, 0.24 already is a decimal. Boom, done. 19%. You can either divide the 19 by 100 or do the Beyonce to the left, and it's 0.19. And 1/5, if you don't know it, type in your calculator. Top number, 1, divided by bottom number, 5, you get 0.2. Terminating decimal, so you can add a 0 to the end if you want to. Now, just like I said in class, you're going to write all three of them, stacked nice and neat, lined up by their decimals. I said least to greatest, so you're going to look for the smallest one. So, you take a look here, 0, 0, 0, there are no help. Look at the next one that we have in the 10th place, 2, 1, and 2. Well, the 1's the smallest one, that makes this the least. I'm going to cross it out, and I'm going to write a number 1 here, because I know it's going to be my first one, it's my least. So, next one, 2 and 2, doesn't help me out. Here I've got a 4 and a 0. Well, this is going to be my next least one, so I'm going to cross that out, put a 2 underneath that, and right here, that makes that my third one. So now when I write them back in order, I use the original terms from the question. So it's going to go 19% is my least, next is 1/5, and last is 0.24. Now, if instead I had negative numbers here, remember on the opposite side of the number line, it's the exact opposite. So you basically put them in order and reverse it. Just remember, -5 is greater than -10. So if they're all negative numbers, it's going to be the opposite of what they say. Boys and girls, hopefully that helped you out. Do your best on your work, and I will see you on Thursday.